ॐ प्रपन्नपारिजाताय तोत्रवित्रीकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः. I welcome everybody to the Gita Jnana Yajna program by Academy of Yoga and Oriental Studies. This is a lecture series on Srimad Bhagavad Gita by Dr. Indulata, Director, Academy of Yoga and Oriental Studies, Bhubaneswar. I am Indulata Das. This is lecture number 2 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and today we'll discuss on Gita, an introduction, part 2, that is Gita Mahatmya, or glory of Gita. Om Gita Shastram idam punyam ja pathet prayatah puman vishnu padma vapnoti bhaya shokadivarjitah. If we convert it to prose form, then it would be idang punyam gita shastram jaha puman prajatah pathati saha bhaya shokadivarjitah san vishnu padam avapnoti. This should be the prose form of the sloka. Let us see the meaning of a few words. Idang punyam gita shastram, this sacred scripture of Gita, jaha puman means the person, prajatah pathati means reads with self-discipline. He reads Gita, simultaneously he practices self-discipline, sanjama, or restraint. Then, bhaya sokadi varjitaha, he becomes devoid of fear and sorrow, etc. So many he, that person, Vishnu padam means place of Lord Vishnu. Abhapnoti means attains. That means, so Vishnu padam abhapnoti, that means he attains the state of Vishnu or place of Lord Vishnu. The meaning of the sloka would be like this. He who reads the sacred scripture Bhagavad Gita along with self-discipline attains the place of Lord Vishnu. He is devoid of fear or sorrow, etc. So these are the Gita. This is Gita Mahatmya. That means glory of Gita. Why one should read Gita? The greatness of Gita. So he who reads this sacred scripture Bhagavad Gita with self-discipline, he attains the state of Lord Vishnu or place of Lord Vishnu, and he has no fear or sorrow, etc. Now let us discuss what is fear and what is death. Fear. Number 1 is fear. Fear from death, old age, and many other factors. And what is sorrow? Sorrows are of 3 kinds. Adhyatmika sorrow, that is internal sorrow. Adhibhautika sorrow, that is sorrows caused by external agents. Then adhidaivika sorrow, caused by supernatural causes. So these are the 3 kinds of sorrows: adhyatmika, adhibhautika, and adhyatmika, adhibhautika, and adhidaivika sorrows. These are the 3 kinds of sorrows. We suffer from one kind of sorrows or the other. Now let us discuss it more elaborately. Now adhyatmika sorrow. What is adhyatmika sorrow? It is internal sorrow. Inside one's own self, inside one's own body, or inside one's own mind. Now, Adhyatmika sorrow is divided into 2 types, Adhi and Vyadhi. Vyadhi is mostly it is physical. It is caused by imbalance of Vata, Pitta and Kapha in the body. So it is physical. And Adhi is caused by increase of Rajoguna and Tamaguna. That is mental. So what is Rajaguna and what is Tamaguna? There are 3 gunas: Rajaguna, Tamaguna and Sattva-guna. Rajaguna and Tamaguna are known as impurities of the mind. But Sattva-guna is clarity. Sattva-guna is good. We should have Sattva-guna. Increase of Sattva-guna makes a person more ideal, he makes a person a better person. But increase of Rajaguna and Tamaguna create problem. Increase of Rajaguna and Tamaguna creates problem in the person. This is Adhyatmika Sara. Then there is Adhibhautika, Adhibhautika Sara. Adhibhautika means these are sorrows caused by outside agents like other humans, animals, or anything worldly, caused by anything worldly cause, any worldly cause. Then there is Adhidaivika. It is caused by supernatural powers, by bad spirits, etc. Or it is some supernatural problem. It is not caused internally. It is not caused in the by increase of Vata, Pitta or Kapha or Rajoguna or Tamaguna. It is not caused by external agents. It is caused by some supernatural power. So this is Adi Bhautika. Like this, these are the three kinds of sorrows. We suffer from one sorrow or from other, but if one is liberated, he suffers from no sorrow. There is no sorrow. He is devoid of sorrows. Then we come to the second sloka of Gita Mahatmya. Gita ध्यानशीलस्य प्राणायाम परस्य च नैव सन्ति हि पापानि पूर्वजन्म कृतानि च. If we convert it to prose form, then the Anvaya would be like this. Gita ध्यानशीलस्य प्राणायाम परस्य च पापानि पूर्वजन्म कृतानि च नैव सन्ति. गीताध्ययनशीलस्य प्राणायाम परस्य च पापानि पूर्वजन्म कृतानि च नैव सन्ति. This would be the Anvaya or the prose form of the shloka. Now let us see meaning of a few words. Gita Dhyanashilasya. Gita Dhyanashilasya means he who habitually studies the Gita. Then pranayama parasya means one who is engaged in pranayama and etc. Here pranayama should also, this is called upalakshana, pranayama should also include other practices like dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Even pranayama, if one is engaged in pranayama, then also his mind is stabilized, mind is purified. So one who reads Bhagavad Gita habitually and who does yogic practices like pranayama regularly, what happens to him? Now, since papani means sins, and mostly earned in this life, mostly. And then purva janma krutani, actions of previous births. Naiva santi, there are two other words. Naiva santi. Naiva santi means do not exist. His sins are destroyed and his purva janma kruta means actions done in previous birth are also destroyed. Now the meaning would be like this. A person who habitually reads Gita and is engaged in yogic practices like pranayama, etc., has no sins and no past actions. He is not affected by any sin or by any past actions. Let us explain it elaborately. The sins and the past actions would not yield any result. Actions are three kinds. Actions are of three kinds. These are Kriyamana, Sanchita, and Prarabdha. Kriyamana action means the action which is being done now, and Sanchita means which actions which are deposited already, and Prarabdha action means those actions who have started giving results. So, if one is engaged in pranayama, etc., and he is engaged in daily study of Bhagavad Gita, daily swadhyaya of Bhagavad Gita, then his sins, the kriyamana, the sins that he is doing, and the past actions would not yield any result. Here, past actions mean the sanchita actions. And then he would be liberated after consuming the prarabdhas, because prarabdhas, he has started consuming the prarabdhas. After finishing the prarabdhas, he will be liberated. That means study of Bhagavad Gita and performance of pranayama, they destroy sins and past actions. Now number 3, Mala Nirmochanam Pungsang Jalasnanam Dine Dine Sakrut Gitambhasi Snanam Sangsara Malanasanam. Now the Anvaya would be like this. Dine dine pungsang jala snanam mala nirmochanam bhavati. Sakrut Gitambhasi Snanam Sangsara Malanasanam bhavati. Now meaning of a few words. Dine dine means every day. Day after day. Pungsang means of people. Jala snanam means water bath. Bathing, taking bath by water. Mala nirmochanam means removal of impurity. Mala means impurity, removal. Nirmochana is removal. So Mala nirmochanam is removal of impurity. Then Sakrut means one time. Gitam Bhasi means in the water of Gita. Sangsara Malanasanam, destroyer of impurity of the world. Now the meaning would be like this. People have to take bath with water every day to remove impurities from their bodies. We take bath every day so that impurities from the body are washed. But a single immersion in the water of Gita removes all worldly impurities, and these worldly impurities are on the Atma, these impurities are in our Atma. This Atma is not pure Atma, this is Jivatma. So let us explain it. One has to wash the body regularly in order to remove soil from the body or impurities or dirt from the body. If we don't take bath, then the body impurities will be accumulated in the body. But what about the Atma? There are also impurities in the Atma accumulated in the Atma. And a single bath in the water of Gita is sufficient to remove all the impurities which are accumulated on one's Atma. So one has to, if one reads Bhagavad Gita, he is free from all the impurities that he has accumulated in multiple lives, in all his previous lives. Now number 4 shloka of Gita Mahatmya. Gita Sugita Kartabhya Kimanyai Shastra Vistarehi Jaswayang Padmanabhasya Mukha Padma Vinishruta. The Anvaya would be like this. Ja Gita Swayang Padmanabhasya Mukha Padma Vinishruta Asti Sa Gita Sugita Kartabhya. Anyahi Shastra Vistarehi Kim. Let us see the meanings of few words. Padmanabha. Padmanabha means Lord. Padmanabhasya, it should be Padmanabhasya, of Lord Vishnu. Then Mukha Padma means lotus mouth. Then Vinishruta has come out. Sugita, well studied. Shastra Vistarehi, large number of Shastra, wide range of Shastras. Now, the meaning would be like this. Gita, which has come out from the lotus mouth of Lord Vishnu, should be well studied. What is the necessity of reading large number of Shastras? Because only Bhagavad Gita gives the knowledge which is Vidya. It gives the knowledge which can liberate a person from the cycle of birth and death. Let us explain it further. Gita is the essence of all spiritual teachings, of all Shastras. So all the spiritual teachings, in all the Shastras are accumulated in Bhagavad Gita. And knowledge of all Shastras are accumulated in this small book. And therefore, study of Gita is sufficient. And we need not study any other Shastra after reading Gita, because by reading the spiritual Shastras, we get the knowledge how to liberate ourselves. And study of Gita does the same thing. The study of Gita is sufficient to liberate one's own self from the cycle of birth and death, from all fears and from all sorrows. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita or Gita should be studied thoroughly. Now number 5 shloka. Bharatamrita sarvaswam Vishnu bhaktrat Vishnu bhaktra vinishrutam Gita gangodakam pitva punarjanma na vidyate. The Anvaya would be like this. Vishnu bhaktra vinishrutam Bharatamrita sarvaswam Gita gangodakam pitva punarjanma na vidyate. Meaning of few words. Vishnu bhaktra vinishrutam, released from the mouth of Lord Vishnu. Bhaktra means mouth. Bharatamrita sarvaswam means essence of the nectar of Mahabharata. The Gita Ganga Dakang Pitwa, after drinking the Ganga water of Gita, Pitwa means after drinking or after drinking. Punarjanma is rebirth. But the meaning of the sloka would be like this. Gita is the essence of the nectar of Mahabharata. He who drinks the Ganga water of Gita has no rebirth. And here it should be Vishnu Bhaktrat Vinishrutam. Gita which has come out from the mouth of Vishnu Bhaktrat Vinishrutam means from the mouth of Lord Vishnu. If he who drinks the Ganga water of Gita has no rebirth. Now explanation. Knowledge of Gita gives liberation. It is as sacred as the water of Ganga. When somebody is on his deathbed, people give him some Ganga water, Ganga jal in his mouth so that he is liberated. He doesn't come back again to this world. So this knowledge of Gita is as sacred as the water of Ganga. Sarvapanishado Gabo Dugdha Gopala Nandana Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdhang Gita Mrutang Mahat. The Anvaya would be like this. Sarvapanishado Gabaha Gopala Nandana Dugdha Partho Vatsaha Mahat Gita Mrutang Dugdham Bhavati. Sudhihi Bhokta Bhavati. Now meaning of a few words, let us see. Sarvopanishadaha Upanishadaha Sarva Sarvopanishadaha Sarvaha Upanishadaha Upanishadaha, all the Upanishads. Gabaha means cows. Gopala Nandana means Lord Krishna. Dogdha means milkman, person who milks the cow. Now Partha is Arjuna, Vatsa is calf. Mahat Gita Mutang Bhavate, the great nectar of Gita. Dugdhang, that is milk. Sudhihi, the wise person who reads the Gita. Bhokta is the consumer, or a person who enjoys it, drinks it. The meaning would be like this. All the Upanishads are like cows. Arjuna is like a calf. Lord Krishna is the milkman who has milked it. The wise who reads Gita is the consumer of that nectar. So here Arjuna is compared to a calf, because in order to make the milk flow, the calf has to stimulate it, and Arjuna is stimulating. And who is milking that cow? Who is bringing the milk out? It is none other than Lord Krishna. And who is who is drinking the milk? It is the wise person. It is the person who is reading Bhagavad Gita. So like this, it is the Mahat Gita Amrutam. It is not only a book. It is not a small book. It is Mahat Gita Amrutam. Gita is nectar, the ambrosia. And we are fortunate enough that we have the fortune of reading Gita. That means we are fortunate enough to drink the nectar or ambrosia of Gita. Now here, glory of Gita expressed by Swami Shivananda Saraswati. Let us see what Swami Shivananda Saraswati says about Gita. He says that education is incomplete without Bhagavad Gita. He says that every curriculum should include Bhagavad Gita in it. So this is what is written by Swami Shivananda Saraswati in his book Bhagavad Gita. This is a quotation. Study of Gita must be made compulsory in all schools and colleges of India, nay, of the whole world. It must become a textbook for students of schools and colleges. It must be introduced in their curriculum. It should find a very important place in every scheme of education. Only that system of education wherein moral and spiritual training is imparted along with secular knowledge can be deemed sound, practical, sensible, and perfect. Then again he says, every one of you should study very carefully the Gita, a sublime and soul-stirring book that can bestow on you supreme peace, immortality, and eternal peace. This is a quotation from Bhagavad Gita written by Swami Sivananda Saraswati. So like this, Bhagavad Gita is a very important spiritual book. It improves our personality, and it ultimately it gives us immortality and liberation. Thank you for listening to this lecture. If you have any question or suggestion, you may write it in the comment box. I would be happy to answer your questions and consider your suggestions. Thank you.